All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we're gonna be checking out this guy right here. We got some BLueffy action going on. BLueffy, I guess maybe we'll call him. I don't know if y'all have a better name for him. Let's use it. But some people may have never even seen this leader, and that's fair. This is a very exclusive blue promo leader, 5 life, 5,000 power, and its effect is Dawn ×1 when attacking. If you have 3 or less cards in your hand, draw a card. Not bad, right? Pretty generic, pretty solid. But a lot of people probably have not seen this card, and it is very rare, I guess you could say. And because of that, it kind of costs a lot as well. I checked the prices before the video on TCGplayer.com. This is running for about $15 USD currently. And I checked Card Market as well, and it's running for about 8 euros over there. Okay, so this is a pretty expensive leader card, all things considered. However, still a very cool leader, and we're going to check it out in today's video. Now, let's go ahead and dive into this. I'm going to give you guys a quick layout. First things first, we are going to be heading over to the lab. We've got a game of Purple Yellow Croc versus Green Uta. Okay, that should be a lot of fun. After that, we've got an update for Red Yellow Sabo. Okay, there was a list over the weekend that went 10-2 across 2 different events. He went 5-1 and 5-1 in 2 different events over the weekend, side events at the Bandai Card Fest Dallas, US Nats event, however you say that. We're going to check that out. Again, he went 5-1 in 2 different smaller side events at US Nationals with Red Yellow Sabo. We're going to check that out right after this, after the lab. From there, we're going to do 5 games on the sim, okay, of this guy. Okay, I made 2 different deck lists that are kind of okay. They need some help. We'll talk about that more as we get to it, and then we'll wrap up the video with going over the deck lists, and I'll give you my final thoughts on it. We'll go from there. All right, guys. Let's hop straight into this video. I don't want this one to run on for too long. I want this to be a pretty chill, pretty lighthearted video. Now, let's hop into this. Okay, let me remove the leader screen. Now, real quick here, notice I don't have my overlay ready for today. This is a very unique resolution I've never seen before. Yes, I could have made an overlay for this, but it's like, making an overlay for this single video, I would do it. It's not that I'm opposed to doing it, but it was nice that this person blotted out the names already. When there's some type of option on the sim where it doesn't show you or your opponent's name like this, and that's perfect. That's the main reason that I make the sim anyway. Okay, or excuse me, make the overlays anyway. So that's already out of the way. There's privacy there. No one knows who's playing. Let's get into this game, guys. Okay, we've got a game of Purple Yellow Croc versus Green Uta. Volume's off. Let me check real quick. Speed's on 2x, and we're good to go. The quality's up and everything. Now, Purple Yellow Croc, okay, and Green Uta. These are 2 of some of my favorite off-meta lists, guys, to be honest. Like, the Uta and Purple Yellow Croc, they're like this close to becoming meta. It's like they're missing just a single card. And it looks like we have a Brûlée in hand. Real quick, just analyzing what's going on here. I'm sorry, guys. I'll try to focus up. And I think, okay, so it looks like the Uta player did choose to go first. Okay, now I know that let me check real quick. I think I saw that. I'm sorry, guys. We do have to go back real quick. Okay, back. We'll go all the way to here. Yes, the opponent chose to go first. Okay, so the Uta won the coin toss or whatever, the dice roll, and they get to go first. And they chose to go first. Okay, or they got to choose which they wanted to go, and it was first. I think Purple Yellow Croc does like to go first. I don't know what this list is. Just being 100%, 100% transparency here, guys. I don't pre-watch these games. I don't know what this list is. It looks solid, but I think they usually want to go first because of the Miss Wednesday. Okay, that's a spicy card we got in our hand, guys. That is a spicy card we got in our hand there. I can't remember the name of that little chicken card, the 5-cost guy, but as soon as it comes up on the screen, I'll say it. It's like Heyoko or something like that, and the resolution's too small. I can't read it. Okay, so the Uta is developing their board, playing out a Brook into a Nami, drawing a card from that. They got an Usopp from that, and they're going to swing for 5 at face, give them a 1K counter with the little chicken card we were just talking about. I'm trying to watch over on the right here to see the name of that card when it pops up. Going to swing for 5 into 5, a very annoying attack. It's like you have to give me a card or not. They choose to take it. We'll take it. We'll take that. And now we're all the way up to what? 8 Dawn, guys. Like, next turn, we'll be on 10 Dawn. Guys, Miss Wednesday and Bon Cray Bentham are huge, right? They're massive. I'm sorry, guys. I'm also paying attention. Let me pause for a second. They're so nice at ramping us consistently to where we can play out these bigger characters. And look at the cards we have access to now. In in Charlotte Linland, the 9-cost Linland. We already had the 8-cost Crocodile. Now we have the 9-cost Linland. Very, very strong. Okay, so let's see what happens here. They rested our character down. Okay, so they rested down our Kikanojo because I am so confused. Guys, give me just a second to process what just happened. They used 2 Dawn in order to rest down our Kikanojo. And then they play out a Brook and an Uta, and they only have 1 Dawn left, and only 1 character will be able to attack into it. I don't know about that one, okay? I don't know about that play there. I do not think that was that was probably not the best play. Okay, going to use the Miss Wednesday to ramp a Dawn perfectly. Now we have 2 Dawn active. Oh, I missed it. What was that card? Hang on. The Hiyoko. That's the name of the little chicken, guys. It's Hiyoko. Very good. Now we know. Hiyoko. All right, so then they swing for 5. We get a Miss... I can never remember her name either, guys. The Searcher, the 2-cost. Hang on. Let's see it real quick. Ah, it's too fast for me, guys. It's just too fast. I'm sorry. I can't remember all these names. It's like Miss... Okay. I can't read it fast enough, and I've got it in 2x speed. I'm sorry, guys. They played out the Searcher there. And now we're in pretty good shape, guys. We're actually... Like, because of... that was a blunder. Like, let's just call it what it was. Playing out, there was no reason to run blacklight there, or backlight, excuse me. There was absolutely no reason for them to play out the backlight. They should have just swung everything into the purple-yellow player's face, right? Like, there's no other reason. I can't imagine why else you would do that. Right? I don't know why you would rest down the Kikanojo and only swing into it 1 time. When you didn't have to play out the Brook or the Uta, you could have just swung everything into the Kikanojo, because remember, guys, Uta's at 4 life. So if Kikanojo gets KO'd, they don't get the life gain. They don't get the life gain. Now, we did have an Oh Come My Way. We did have a Miss Wednesday. We could have gotten out of it. Okay, we could have easily gotten out of that, I'm pretty sure. But still, it does need to be stated that that was not the... I do not think that was the best reason to run the backlight there. Just don't run it at all if you want to develop your board and just swing everything at face like we just had to do anyway. So that was a little bit of a blunder. Okay, playing out the 9-cost Linland. Okay, we trashed the 8-cost Crocodile to gain a life and push back the Uta. Okay, so we pushed... Interesting. So we pushed back the Uta, and now we have a similar situation where we're only going to be able to swing 5s and 6s into the Nami. So in this situation, I think we should have swung 7 into the Nami with the Kikanojo and then 2 5s into it if it survived. But honestly, I wouldn't have done that at all. I would have pushed the Nami back to the top of life, or bottom of life, excuse me, to the bottom of the life, and then I would have swung everything into the Brook, which he would have been much less, he wouldn't have been as eager to save. Let's see what happens here, because I would save this Nami, guys. I don't know what happens here, but I would save this Nami. Yeah, 2k counter for the 6. Another 6 is going to be another 2k counter. Or maybe he doesn't have any counter power. Okay, no, he had an Ezo, and then 5 and a 5, that's just a 1k. It would be crazy if he didn't save it, and he does. Yeah, and that's how I would have gone about that turn there for sure, like as the Uta player. Okay, they play out a Nami. They're going to draw 3 cards. So the 3 cards they just used to save Nami, they're going to draw 3 back. 5 and a 1. Yeah, I would just let this card go for sure. Okay, let's see what they do here. If I'm the Uta player, I'm just playing my board. Just one thing. Okay, so they're trying to develop so much when they can just win on the board. That's what I don't understand here. So right here, I wouldn't have played out the Uta. I would have swung everything into this tapped Kikanojo, who cannot gain a life right now. Now, you might not get it, but you'll at least get every card out of hand. So the way that I would have done it, instead of playing Uta, I'd have 5 Dawn active right now, right? And I can't swing with the Nami, the other Nami, because they played that this turn. So right here, I'm going to swing 6 first with my leader into the Kikanojo. Not my characters first. I'm going to swing with the leader first to see what they do. I want to get a temperature of what they're trying to do here. Now, they probably will save it with a 2k counter. Then I'm going to swing 6k into it again. Okay, and then I'll swing 7 into it. And then that's when we could use the Okama way to save it. Actually, hang on. Yeah, no, so, excuse me, I would have swung 6, 6, 7 into it. And we could have saved it. The purple-yellow player could have saved it, but then you'd have gotten every card out of their hand, and then you still, like, okay, if they attack into your board, we're fine with that, right? Because Uta could just draw cards like crazy, and they can't take out your whole board. Well, maybe they could at that point. We'd have to see. But that's how I would have done it, guys. With the 5 Dawn, I would have made sure that Kikanojo goes away, or it would take them every card they had. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's see what happens here. They're going to swing 7 into 6, it looks like. Yep. Drawing a card. They got a backlight. That's another reason, guys, you have to attack first. And see, gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to keep pausing. I'm not... Hang on. Why would we not swing for... Like, why wouldn't we just swing for 6 into life with the Uta? And drawing a card from that, it would have been a backlight. Then, we could have swung for 5 with our Nami and used her effect to draw another card as well. Again, guys, I'm sorry. I'm seeing these little tiny mistakes. I'm not trying to be too picky or anything like that, but we do have to call these out. That's why we do these lab segments where people submit their videos. Okay, all right. Okay, hang on. How did we lose the 2K counter? Or they'll come my way? So I would have taken that. So honestly, I actually would have taken that hit right there and gone down to 2. So that way we have an come my way, or an come away, whatever they're calling it, and then the 2K counter. Now let's see what we get for the turn. And we would have also drawn something for the turn. Okay, and I thought I saw that, a 6-cost Linlin. Okay, I would not have played that card out for the effect. I would have played out a 6-cost, 7K body and passed. Or attacked, or whatever you're going to do for the turn. I would definitely attack. But I would not have tossed my 2K counter for them to trash 2 cards from hand. Because remember, they have 3 cards on the board next turn that are going to draw them 3 cards. Right, like the leader effect and both of the Namis. Okay, gonna swing 5 into 5. I would let the Brook go if I'm the Uta player. Absolutely. Swing 6 into 5, or 5 into 5. Yeah, correct. They did that in the correct sequencing. Excellent. I probably would have countered out of that one just to save 1 card from hand here. And then you take the 9K right here, because then the Kikinojo would have destroyed the Brook if you countered out last time. And you had a blocker too if you needed it. So right here, okay, so I don't know how this turn goes, but I can tell you right now, if I'm the Uta player, your cards are gone, right? Like the purple yellow. I don't know how this turn plays out, but I'm swinging 9 into that Linlin, the 9-cost Linlin, as many times. It would only take 2 times, right? Because one's going to be a block and the other would just connect. And the first time I would do it would be 4 on my leader, so that way I can save my Dawn for my Namis if I need to go about it that way. So it'd be 9 with the leader into the Linlin. And actually, excuse me, we saw that we already drew a backlight. So you just tap down the Miss Wednesday, and then you swing 9 into the 9 Lin. So I'm sorry, actually that is what you would do there. And then you'd swing, 5 into the searcher, I can't remember their name, and then 6 into the Kikinojo, or into the Miss Wednesday, because we tapped it with backlight. That is how this turn should go, but let's see what happens. I have no idea what happens here. Okay, backlight to KO the Kikinojo. So that is a mistake. So right away, that's a mistake, because there are no cards in our hand, like in the purple yellow player's hand. All we have to do is backlight down the blocker, and then we're going to be able to swing into the blocker, swing into the Kikinojo, and swing into the Linlin, and there's no way for us to survive. Like, we can't protect it, right? Okay. Playing out the Zoro. What on earth, guys? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be overly critical, but I am trying to point out, guys, that... So, we got to bust out the accuracy meter real quick, guys. This was just a blunder. This might be an actual blunder where it's going to cost them the game. Again, I don't know how this game ends, but you cannot make that play mistake there. As the green Uta player, the turn should have gone like this. Use 2 to tap down the Miss Wednesday. Swing 9 into the purple, the 9-cost Linlin with your leader. So you still have 4 Dawn left, right? So it's going to be it's literally going to be a perfect turn. 9 into the Linlin, it's gone. And we drew a card from our leader effect. Now we still have 4 Dawn left, right? Because that was 4 for the attack, 2 for backlight. Now with the remaining 4 Dawn, we swing 6 into the Kikinojo and draw a card. So we still have 2 Dawn left, right? Drawing a card with the with the Nami, and then we swing the rest into the Miss Wednesday. And actually, we'd have a little bit of Dawn extra to be able to still draw a card and get rid of it. So they would have lost the Kikinojo, the Miss Wednesday, and the 9-cost in 1 turn. And our hand goes back up to like 5 cards. But let's see what happens. The game's not over yet. Let's see how they do this. I thought I just hit spacebar and stopped the recording, guys. That scared me a little bit because I had up the accuracy meter. Okay, so swing 7. All right. So they're going to go for game here, it looks like. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, no, they can't go for game. Excuse me. That's right. They've already used up their whole turn. And they're not swinging into the little bodies and stuff. Oh, man. Okay, guys. Always battle for the board. I'm gonna be honest, especially in a green Uta list, guys. If you're running green Uta, always battle for the board because you're going to win the value game over the long run. But we're just letting them get back in this game. Yeah, 7 into 5. That's going to be hard to counter out of. I didn't see what we drew on the side. Okay, it's gone. Now 9's definitely going to get 5. That card's gone. Okay, so right here, I think, yeah, you just bash in. Yep, swing for 6 like you did. And then we're going to play out the 9 Lin. And I probably would push back the Zoro. Sometimes it's not a good idea to, but I would push it back because we have no cards in hand. Now, again, notice what's going on. They still have a full board because we didn't attack into anything last turn, like, properly, as the Green Uta player. So, and I'm not trying to roast this person, guys. Please understand that I'm not trying to, like, be mean or anything like that, but it was just, it was a very, it was a play that had to happen in a certain way or we're just in bad shape. Oh, man, now they see an Ezo on top of their deck. They don't get to draw a card with the leader. That's unfortunate for them. Okay, I think we're in good shape now to win this game. Yeah, 10s into 8. That one of these is going to get through for sure. The first one gets through. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I would save 8 Dawn for your I would save 8 Dawn for the crocodile. Absolutely. Swing 7, swing 9. Just waiting on our opponent to do some type of trigger effect. They got I'm invincible. Okay, they should have saved that to try to win the game here because I think they still have the backlight, correct? Or actually, no, excuse me. They used the backlight to KO the Kikinojo. Okay, so we're up to 2 life, and now they would have to have a backlight and the you know, whatchamacallit. Okay, I think very nice. So they'd have to have backlight and like double I'm invincibles to win the game now, and I don't think it's going to be enough. So we counter out of that. Very nice. We've got no come my way, which is actually very relevant here. Time to go for game. We're going to swing 9, 10, 11, 9, 10 or something. Okay, so 9, 7, 12. I think that's the route we're going here. That was very interesting choice in in numbers there. I'm not sure how much I agreed with that one, but hey, that's all right. I think there's no way we lose right here, right? I don't know actually. If they have I'm invincible, how many I'm invincibles do they have in their hand? So 10, that's going to go through. Okay. Oh, nice. Got the beige trigger. Now it doesn't matter how many are in their hand. Got the GG text in there. Yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Okay, we're just waiting for the opponent to pass. Oh, and they did. Yeah, they did have an I'm invincible, so they could have technically won that game, but not actually, right? Because we still could convert one attack with the Come My Way. So even though it looks like, oh man, they got this, you know, the beige won the game, it did win the game like pretty much on the spot. But even if he had not gotten beige there, we're still going to let him attack one time for everything and go down to 1 life. And then we let him attack the final time. He has no more Dawn, you know, active. There's no way to get out of it. And we just redirect his attack to Miss Wednesday. So, GG. That was a fun one there. All right, let me get set up real quick, guys. Y'all give me just a moment to get set up here. Got to black out the screen here and move this little advert, this little thing here. Okay, now we got to talk about Red Yellow Sabo. My favorite topic. We got my favorite topic here. Okay, take the black screen off. All right, so I will link this down in the comment section below for y'all to watch the full interview if you want to see it for yourself, which I do recommend for any of the Red Yellow Sabo mains out there who listen to my channel. Guys, check this out. Of course, I did have to comment on here, you know, saying big grats on going 10-2. The guy's name is Aaron. I don't know who he is, by the way. I have not met them, but I said big grats on 10-2. Hopefully I spelled his name correctly. Keep up the good work, and a big thanks to One Piece TCG IRL. Big shout out to them for putting on these interviews. So this guy went 10-2, guys, and I watched the entire video, and I'm just going to show you the list because they didn't lay the deck out on the table. He went through the cards one by one, but I went ahead and just compiled it, and this is the list, guys. I will have this list down in the comment section below. The guy went 10-2. He went 5-1 in 2 different side events. So he went 5-1 in one event and then 5-1 in the other event. This is the list he was running. He sounds like he's building things the exact same way as we've been talking about on the channel. And check it out, guys. He's got all the triggers needed. A massive amount of triggers. I think probably in the 30s. Let's count real quick, actually. 2, 4, 6. And then we got 10, 14, 18, 22, plus 4, 26, 30, 32. So 32 triggers. I might have messed that up a little bit, but y'all get the point. It's like 32 triggers. Anything above 30 triggers, I think, is in the right area, because you have to have a certain amount of triggers in order to, always be able to have access to your Nami, right? You have to have a certain amount of them, or it becomes too inconsistent. He has quite a bit of top end compared to some of the other decks we looked at. He has 6, which is what I saw. We did see I can't remember if it was Ephraim's. I think it was Ephraim's list that had 6 top end cards. He was running triple Charlotte Linlin and triple Shanks instead of 2, 2, and 2, adding in the 2 Rayleighs. 10 rushers, just like I believe it was Dundo's list, or is it 9 rushers? 4, 3, and 2, 9 rushers. So just under what I believe Dundo was running. And yeah, guys, this is the list. This is basically it. It's what we've been running. He prefers running the Kikinojos and the, excuse me, guys, the Kikinojos and the Nekomamushis over like the Lindberghs and the Morleys, like me and my buddy Mike have been messing around with, which I don't fault that. I don't think one's even better than the other. I think they both have like extreme, you know, there's a lot of reason to run either or. If you're going to be more aggressive, the Land of Wano stuff just makes sense. And notice he's not running Bonnie. So it does just make sense that he's running more of the Kikinojo package with Nekomamushi for the Land of Wano stuff. And then he did say something that I hadn't really thought about. I mean, I've thought about it, obviously, but like he said something that was very important about Cracker, about how strong in the interview. Guys, like I said, I will link the interview down in the comment section below. He talked about how important the Crackers were in the 5 life matchups. And it's true if you high roll and get the Crackers, right, of course. And then against other matchups, it does seem a little bit less impactful. But in those matchups, you should be able to, you know, in the 4 life matchups, it's much easier to get your Kikinojos and your Nekomamushis online. But yeah, I'm still messing around with all kinds of different variations, you know, all the time. But yeah, this list looks solid. Hey, it played solid. Apparently, right? This guy went 5-1 in 2 different major events at a card fest. So really good stuff here. He only plays the 2 Sanj. He's running the 2 Beige, which I thought was very interesting. The 2 Beige are very interesting. Of course, the 4 Frankie and 4 Satori, there's no... I don't think we can change those out anymore. They're too important, especially now that we have Nami, where we actually do need triggers whenever we need them. Like, we have to have access to triggers so that we can get full value from our Namis. And then the Beige, that's another 2K counter with a trigger, so it does double over in that way for the Nami interaction. Awesome list. Big shout out, you know, grats to Aaron, dude. Awesome job repping Red Yellow Sabo. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Okay, now let's head over to the sim, guys. Enough rambling about Red Yellow Sabo on a video that's not even supposed to be about Red Yellow Sabo. We've got a game here of Green Uta. Hang on, let me adjust the camera. There we go. Okay, volume is off. Speed is on 2x. And we have got some games here of BLueffy. That's it sounds, it kind of intuitively, that's the name that comes to mind. But yeah, notice the package we're running here. I'm sure some people thought that it was going to be like this. I'm sure a lot of people had already figured it out, like, okay, yeah, why would you not run 7 Warlords of the Sea if you're going to be running a mono blue leader anyway? It just kind of makes sense, right? Now, the Gum Gum Giant Reins in my hand are actually very important at helping me counter out aggressively, but I am going to take a little bit of life here, and it ended up paying up nicely. Look at that, guys. I drew a Jinbei from life, playing out the Weevil. Boom, we're off to the races. This is what makes blue strong right now, no matter what color you're playing. It doesn't matter what color, or excuse me, not what color, no matter what leader you're running, if you can include this 7 Warlords package in there, you're doing all right. You're doing okay. Swinging for 6, it is time to start countering out here. They've got 4 Dawn open, so yeah, of course, Brook into Uta. But guys, I've got a little surprise for them. I've got this Marshall D Teach card in my hand. I'm just going to be able to bounce the card out of the way, right? All right, let's see how I do this. I'm trying to do a little bit of math. You know, I'm not used to playing this leader, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. They 2K counter out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually... Okay, so I had 2 options there. If they did not... Like, if they took the hit, I was going to just punish them with a pudding. Just right away, full punish with pudding. But if they did not take the hit, I was going to play out the Jinbei with the Marshall D Teach, bouncing back the blocker, and then hitting them in that way. Developing my board and going about things in that way. Okay, so swing for 6 here, and then it's going to be swinging for 6 more, and then it's going to be their turn. They take it, okay. Very interesting. Very interesting for them to take that. I will say, very, very interesting. I don't know if I would, personally. All right, so right here, they're on their 7 Dawn turn, I believe. If I were I don't know what Uta has in their hand currently, but I would probably be going for... They got a Brook from that new Genesis I just revealed on the side there. And then I would be trying to play out the 7-cost guy, the 7-cost... Okay, instead they decide to backlight my guy. I would have played out the 7-cost Luffy because they have 3 life. They're not really at jeopardy of losing next turn. I mean, anything's possible, right? But they're not really at jeopardy of losing next turn. Okay, they're going to swing 6 into 5 here. This is a tough call because I do want to start getting rid of my cards in hand so I can start using my leader's effect there. So I do a 0 cost 3k, tossing the 7 cost guy now that I saw they weren't going to be playing Luffy. At least not this turn. Okay, they have 4 Dawn left. Maybe they're going to play out another Brook plus a 3 cost. Yep, and they do, and that does make sense. And again, I did show that he searched that with the new Genesis. Okay, but right here, I got to do this in the correct order. I think I should just Gravity Blade here, to be honest. That's kind of what's going through my head. But we'll swing for 5. Let's see if he wants to... Let's see how greedy he wants to get. Okay, not too greedy. That's... Yeah, I think he played that correctly. All right. And now in this situation here, I think I'm just going to Gravity Blade the 2 4 costs. I'm down to 3 cards in hand. Swing for 6. Draw a card. And we're in very good position now, right? Like, we're actually in very good position. And they had to use the blocker. Okay, so that's wild. They're either trying to save it for like limited counter power in hand, or they just want to, you know, have a really explosive turn here. They get a 2k counter from that, from the leader attack there. Let me sit up, guys. Sorry, I'm getting too I gotta sit up. I'm getting too comfortable. Playing out Brook, getting a Nami. Man, these Brooks, I think they've seen every Brook this game. They play out the Nami. They did a top search there. I didn't see what it was. Oh, it was a Luffy. I did reveal it on the side there. Now they're going to do a new Genesis. Or maybe the new Genesis revealed it. I don't know. But we do know there's a 7 cost Luffy in hand. But that's not going to do anything for them, right? Like, that doesn't really matter in this situation. Okay, so real quick, let's go back. Hit him with a pudding there. Okay, so right here. So they backlight my guy. They only have 6 cards in hand. And I just wanted to play out a card. So pause. I only got 1 card out of their hand, like as far as value goes, but I just wanted to play out a card here, literally just to, you know, be able to use my leader effect. Watch what happens right here, guys. This might be surprising to you. It was surprising to me, okay? I'm like, okay, I've got 6 Dawn left. I guess I'm just going to go 6, 7, 7. All right, swing for 6. They take it. I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean take it? I'm like, wait, what? Take both? Swing for 7. Guys, every now and then, watch this, guys. Every now and then, you just brick. Okay, every now and then, you just... And guys, remember, I did hit them with a pudding. So I guess my pudding hit every single counter in their hand and gave them nothing but dead cards, nothing but bricks in hand. It happens. It happens. What do you do? But yeah, that was a fun one there. All right, next game. We got a game against ST14 Luffy. We got BLaffy and BLueffy here. Let me go speed 2x. Here we go. Now, there are 2 different starter deck black Luffys, so we'll have to come up with names for them. But until then, this is the only Luffy that really sees play. I just call him BLaffy. All right, they're going to swing for 5. I'm going to counter out because, again, you want to keep your hand size low. So I hit him with a pudding. I just swing for 6. I'm just being aggressive right now. I'm trying to keep my hand size as low as possible. That's the goal here. So that way I can capitalize on my leader's effect. And that's something we'll try to talk about. I'll try to remember to talk about it once we get to the end of the video. If you're trying to run this leader, you need to be like burning cards from hand. That's why I like the Gum Rain, because it allows you to dump 2 cards from your hand and counter out aggressively. Right here, I think we should just counter. Yep, swing for 5. Again, just counter. We need to get down to 3 cards in hand. We're there. Perfect. Okay, so right here, a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger would have been absolutely peak in this situation. But hey, we'll bounce a card back. We'll swing for 5. I should have swung for 5 first so he didn't know what I was doing. And then, but then I play out the Doflamingo. We'll bounce back that card like I said, and we'll go about things this way. They have a lot of cards in hand, and we did not get an explosive start this game. Excuse me. But anything that can flood the board, which currently I think for blue is really only the 7 Warlord stuff, is like, at least it's the best at it. Yeah, that's what you got to do for now. Okay, they're going to swing for 7 and 5 here. I'm just going to go ahead and counter out aggressively. Again, they're going to swing for 5, -4 to my Doflamingo. That was pretty nice, getting the Gravity Blade. We'll get rid of that card. And then they just passed turn. So I guess once I got rid of that card, they determined that they didn't want to take out my Doflamingo. That had to have been a play mistake, right? Or a mistake, like maybe they accidentally clicked the wrong button. I don't know, but they didn't say anything in the chat. So here we go. Or if they did say it, I did not see it. That's a card we're going to talk about later. That's a fun one. Okay, so we Gravity Blade the Jack out of the way. We're going to swing for 7. Going to swing for 5. I did that in the wrong order, but then we're going to swing for 7 here. Okay, he's down to 1. I've got a 2k counter in hand. I'm ready to just use it as soon as I can, to keep my hand size low. But yeah, this is a pretty good position to be in. So -5. Now they're going to be able to take this guy out, I think. Yep, using a Suru and a Brook, though. Play out the Rebecca, and let's see what they do now. See what they grab back. I think they got back a 2K counter. Smash into that. Seems good. Okay, I'm just going to keep playing these guys out. You know, I'm just going to keep playing out these the biggest guys I have and attacking and drawing cards with my leader. And that's, you know, when you get down to the grindy part of the game, that's where this leader does shine. As long as your deck is built in a way where you can actually dump your hand and counter out efficiently and all that stuff. He's got to get rid of my Doflamingo, right? That, like, the only thing going through my head right now is like, okay, dude, if you can't get rid of my Dofi, that's that. And he didn't play out the, we know he has a Rebecca in hand, right? Because I literally bounced it back to his hand to swing for 8. So what is he going to do in this situation? You have to play out the Rebecca, right? All right, let's see. Just waiting on my opponent. Decides he's just going to start attacking for game. Guys, this dude just crumbled under the pressure. I don't know exactly what's going on here. And I'm like, you know what? I think I have a lot of counter power in hand. Maybe we just go all in. Maybe we actually just go all in and force him to use a blocker. So we're going to swing for 11, and we're going to swing for 11. In this situation, because he has no life left, you don't swing for like 10 and then 12 or 9 and then 13 or something. Pause. Okay, so I don't know what just happened there. Was he not able to get out of it? Play. Let me see something. I'll finish my thought in just a second. He could only get to 11. So he couldn't block out of the first one. And then, or excuse me, he'd have to block out of the first one, and then he couldn't counter out of the second one. Because it was going to be swing 11, swing 11. In that situation, if you're ever wondering, like, well, when do I swing for 7 and then 9 where I have, like, 2 over, or versus when do I swing for the same amount or as close to the same amount as possible? The answer is when they have no cards in life. Or if you have another choice, obviously, that's different too. But, like, this guy had no cards in life. So if I can hit the magic number where it's just over whatever counter power he has, that's what I'm going to swing for to try to win. This guy, he started rushing, though. There was no reason to rush there. I think in his mind, he was thinking, okay, he's generating too much value from his leader, and he's going to keep bouncing my blockers out of the way and drawing more and more cards. And he probably didn't have any like good enough removal for my character or something. I have no idea, right? I literally have no idea. But whatever the case was, he could not get rid of my guy, and he didn't play out the Rebecca. So it's like, man, that's a tough spot to be in. That is a tough spot to be in. Or maybe he had to trash the Rebecca with an earlier counter. I might have missed it, guys. All right, let's keep going. I don't want to spend too much time thinking about that. It was just, you know, he got in a rough situation for sure. All right, we got a game versus Blue-Yellow Queen. I will probably be revisiting Blue-Yellow Queen very soon because I know a lot of people really like this leader. Hey, guys, this is a leader that I played quite a bit of back in OP04, I think, when it came out. I think it came out in OP04, right? And I played a lot of this leader when it came out. I was really happy with this leader. Okay, they played out Shirahoshi. I bounced it back. Whoops. Sorry, guys. I hit the mic. I bounced it back with the Marshall D Teach. Swinging for 5. Your turn. I'm just trying to flood the board this game, guys. I did not get a Jimbei for, like, the perfect ideal start, but that's okay. All right. Let's see what they do. They hit me with a pudding. Seems good. I just couldn't do anything about it, right? I guess I could have countered out more aggressively earlier on, but, yeah. Oh, well. They gave me one heck of a hand, guys. They gave me 3 2K counters. I just used one to get out of that attack, and now I've got, you know, I still got an Edward Weevil, a blocker. Every now and then, pudding will fix your hand. Every now and then. I don't like that card. I've made that well known. I'm not saying it's broken. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying the card is extremely powerful. And I have mentioned how much, you know, how frustrating it is to deal with before. But, guys, every now and then, they gave me straight gas for what I needed here. So swing for 8. We're going to counter out fully. That's right, guys. Fully counter out every time just to get down so we can start drawing cards with our leader's effect. Okay? So we go ahead and play out the Doflamingo there. I'm not saying you should counter out like that every time, by the way, guys. Do not quote me or anything like that. I'm not saying you should. So swing for 4. Let's see if he wants to start giving me counters for free. Because I'm going to draw counters every turn. Or, excuse me, I'm going to draw extra cards every turn with my leader effect. 6 and a 4. He didn't want to do that. Play out this guy. Draw this, draw that. And we got 2 2K counters. I think he's going to Gravity. Yeah, I was going to say, if he's running Gravity Blade and he has it, he should do it this turn. That was perfect. All right, swing for 7 into 4. All right, perfect, dude. 2 2K counters. We're good. We're good to go. Easy, easy turn. I was hoping he did not have, whatever, you know, the Gravity Blade, because then that turn would have been absolutely, you know, disgusting. So we'll swing for 7. We knew it was going to be a Weevil because we set it there. I think that was the last card we set. We'll swing in for 5. I did that in a wonky order, but hey, oh well. And we got more cards to set the top of our deck with, guys. Now we can just keep drawing exactly what we need for the turn. You know, doing two draws a turn. Playing out the Kikinojo. That's interesting. I have seen some lists run the Kikinojo, like a slightly more aggressive Wano version of Queen, because you already have Yamato, right? So I guess it makes sense a little bit. Right here, I think I'd go for it. I can't remember exactly. Okay, I don't. I left exactly 7 Dawn active just in case he was able to get out of that. And I definitely get back his Kikinojo. Then he bottom decks my 7 cost dude. 9 into 6. If I could counter out, I would have. Okay, if I could have, I would have. So right here, we're going to swing for 9. That would cost every card in his hand if he even has it. Let's see if he has another trigger. He does not. Attach all. Swing 12. No way you get out of that. GG. That was a fun one. All right, next game. I do like playing Blue Yellow Queen, guys. It's a leader that I put a lot of time into when it first came out. I thought it was a really cool leader, and it had my life gain, so I was happy with it. You know what I mean? So that's you know, it is what it is. All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. Let's see what happens here. Notice the version we're running now. So the first 3 games were 7 Warlords of the Sea version. These last 2 are going to be Impel Down. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to straight up say it. I liked the 7 Warlords version better, and I felt like it was easier to win games with it, okay? People have been asking me a lot lately, like, hey, show your losses, or what they say something else too. They want to know my win-to-loss ratio. Guys, I'm just going to be honest with some of these decks that I'm running. Like, for example, BLueffy, my win ratio was not great. Okay, I'm just being completely honest with you guys. I don't know the exact number. I don't keep track. But it was not great. Because I'll tell you right now, when I'm building these decks, guys, let me pause for a second and finish this thought for those who are interested. When I'm building these decks that are totally off meta, like, I mean, they're like a deck some people have never even seen before, right? The leader. Yeah, I'm going to lose like 5 games straight. Like, it's not worth showing them. You know what I mean? Because the deck's not finished. The deck is totally unrefined. It's bad. You know what I mean? There's no point in showing games where you're just getting blown out of the water because your deck's not created yet. You know what I'm saying? And guess what, guys? When I'm making these leaders, yeah, that's most of my games. That's most of them. Okay? But once I get a list where I'm happy with it, it starts winning like this. And those are the games I record. I'm like, oh, wow, this deck's like starting to win now. But again, with this BLueffy leader, I will say this. I was not winning a ton of games. If I was breaking even, I'd be surprised. I was probably like winning 4 out of 10 games or like 3 out of 10 games. Just being completely honest with you guys. Okay, here we go. All right, so, and that's why I don't just post a bunch of losses either, guys. I just, you know, I don't want to teach people how to lose. I want to teach them how to win. Because, you know, I know you can definitely learn stuff from your losses, 100%. That's how I learn a lot of my stuff. But when it comes to the channel, guys, for stuff that's going to be on the internet forever, for stuff that people are going to watch, and, you know, who knows, people might watch in like 5 or 10 years from now, or who knows how long from now. Yep, they're going to see wins, guys. It is what it is. Okay, so we're going to Gravity Blade there. So I will say this. Blue is very strong into Luffy. Okay, Gravity Blade on his 5 cost Sabo. I don't want him to have any Sabos this game. That is the entire logic here. Every Sabo I want gone. I want it out of here. I don't want him to have access to it ever again for the rest of the game. So right here he plays out Luffy, but he still has 5 Dawn active. Okay, and there's another Sabo. So guess what I'm going to be using this turn? Okay, just waiting for my opponent to pass it back or to attack or whatever they're going to do. Okay, yep, they're just making their... Oh, they're finishing out the Sabo effect to draw 2 trash 2. They're going to swing for 7. I am going to counter out here because I need to get my hand size down anyway. We're going to Gravity Blade and pass turn. Okay, it's that simple, guys. That's the whole point of this. Now, the 6 cost Luffy in my hand, for those who do not know what that is, for those who are not aware, that's a 6 cost 7k that has an on play and when attacking, trash 2 cards to bounce a 4 or less and get double attack for the turn. It's a very strong effect for what we're trying to do, trying to go down in hand size, but it's not super practical. I'm just going to be honest. It's not super practical. Okay, so they're doing the Emporio Ivankov effect here. They're going to set a card to the top of their life, I think. They trashed 1 card. They're going to put 1 card there. And I didn't even look at what it was. I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, notice I don't even mouse over it. They do a 3 Brothers Bond. They probably should have done that first. And they play out another Sabo. So they've seen 3 out of 4 Sabos this game, guys. That's actually pretty insane. That's pretty miraculous. I can tell you from experience, guys, there's plenty of games where I did not see Sabo. All right, so right here, I'm going to give him 1k counters. He's swung for 5. And this guy's kind of in trouble, right? We're going to play out the Emporio Ivankov, which can cheat out a 6 or less Impel Down character. I can't bounce back the Sabo because he costs 5. You can only bounce back a 4. But now I think it's time to attack, guys. Let's swing for 6. See what he gives me. You got to swing for 1 over what he is right now to get past that Sabo, right? Because the Sabo can block a 6 for free. Okay, and then we're going to swing for 7. And this should cost him a 2K, 1K, or the Sabo. A Sabo and a 2K maybe. It looks like he's going to counter out. And I got to draw a card from that, by the way. Right, guys? Like, I got to draw a card from that with my leader. And now, what is my opponent supposed to do? He only has 1 Sabo in the trash, right? Because I bottom decked the other 2. He's going to trash an Ivankov to set up 2 cards on top. Now, remember, guys, my Luffy can get double attack. If I need to, I can make my Luffy get double attack. But he does have this... Man, he just had every Sabo that he needed this game. That's wild. But we were still... Like I said, blue is very strong. Blue is very strong into black, yellow Luffy. Okay, he actually had exactly what he needed. He's had everything he's needed this game other than the Gecko Moria. Because I'm like, wait, where's the Gecko Moria this game? However, the real question is this. How are you going to survive next turn? Right? Like, how is he supposed to survive here? Okay, swing for 5. We'll give him a 1K so I can draw a card next turn. So I'm going to pause it. Guys, find lethal. Now, by the way, I'm about to troll this guy a little tiny bit because I'm like, oh, cool, another Gravity Blade. We'll just, like, bounce his cards, right? However, lethal is calculated right here. If I put 4 on both of my characters, they're both 7Ks, you know, and I put him at 11, he only has 1 card in hand. He has no life. So swing for 11, that's gonna require the blocker. Swing for 11 more, GG. Or it could swing for 13 at that point for the remaining 2 Dawn. Okay, but right here, I do kind of have a little bit of fun here, but this is not the correct play. Okay, so now we're just going to swing for 10. But it turns out, I think he didn't have anything in hand anyway. I think he only has a Gecko in hand. Yeah, I don't know when he got that Gecko. Maybe he got it from the searching with the whatever his name is, the Sabo. But guys, there's no Sabo to get back from the trash anymore, right? Like, so if he played this Gecko Mori out next turn, like if he somehow survived and could actually use the Gecko plus the leader effect, which I don't think he could, he had no way to survive, right? Because, you know, there's no blocker in front of him. All right, one more game, guys. We got one more. This has been pretty fun. Like, this leader was pretty fun. It was better than I thought it would be. Okay, we got a game versus Kaido here. And I think this game I actually get a decent start for once. Like, I feel like when I was trying out the Impel Down list, I felt like I was not getting very good starts. And maybe that's a thing for Impel Down. I don't know. I don't play a lot of Impel Down. I know someone asked me to play Hannibal soon. Hannibal, however you say it. I'll probably be messing around with that soon. Hey guys, I read all of your comments, so it's not that I'm trying to ignore you if I don't have a video out as soon as you say something, but you know, you got to give me time. You got to be patient. Okay, just gonna slam down a 5-cost 7K Crocodile. That's in the list because I could cheat it out with the 7-cost Ivankov, but I have a whole nother card I can cheat out with Ivankov this turn. The 7-cost 7K 6-cost the 6-cost Luffy. Okay, he does the Black Maria effect there to bottom deck my stuff. Very nice, very cool. Yep, seems good. Seems good. So right here, I do want to get rid of the Bonkore Bentham. That card's got to go. Now we're going to play out the 7-cost Ivankov, cheating out the 6-cost 7K Luffy. And guys, this is a serious board. This is a serious board. And I just go ahead and red rock the, I don't know what I did there actually. How did I get rid of that? Oh, I bounced it back to hand, excuse me. I bounced the Black Maria back to hand. I was going to say, wait, how did I do that? It was like 14 Dawn turn. Okay, so he's going to swing for 7 here. I can get out of this. I think I should. I think that was the right call because we're going to draw cards anyway. And now what is my opponent supposed to do? Bottom deck that guy, and we're swinging for 7 4 times this turn. Okay, swing with the lowest cost characters first, as long as they're all the same power. then I don't do that. I kept the effect open in case he got some kind of trigger somehow. You know, who knows? Maybe like a Basil Hawkins or something. And that's game. That's game. He just taps out. There's nothing he can do. He can play out 2 blockers if he wants to, if he can afford it. I think he might be able to play out the blockers, if I'm not mistaken, with his effect. Or not, you know. Hang on. So, yeah, what could he do here? The Hakai's Ocean Sovereignty is not going to be able to help him, right? Because that's going to cost 6 Dawn. Well, hang on. Okay, so what he could do. What he could do in this situation to try to make it last one more turn, if he was even, you know, trying to do that. He could Hakai Ocean Sovereignty, which returns 2 Dawn, right? And I'm at 1, 3, 6. I'm at 9 Dawn, and he's at 9 Dawn as well. So don't use the Onigashima just yet. And he could use the Ocean Sovereignty to pop does it pop 2 6 or less characters? I can't remember. I think he'd be able to pop 2 of my characters. I could be wrong about that. I'll check in a second. But pop 2 of my characters, then play out the Sanji, because now you're down to you don't have much life left, right? Or you don't have much Dawn left. You go down to 7 Dawn versus my 9. Play him out for 3. Yeah, that would be fine. Then you can use the Onigashima and go up to 8, so you'd be at 10 next turn. I think that was his only chance to survive one more turn. But what does that do exactly, right? Like, I mean, it's better than nothing. You might as well try it. There's nothing else you could do. But I think that was about all he could hope for in that situation. And I did have a 2K counter in hand if I had to get out of his attack or whatever. So, yeah. All right. GG. That was a fun one. Okay, that's it for the games on the sim. Let's go ahead and check out the deck list. That's not it. All right, so the first one we were looking at was this one. This was the very first one. Let me move my head real quick. This was the first 7 Warlords of the Sea version of this leader. And by the way, pause and read it if you don't know what these cards do. I'm going to read through them real quick and we'll talk about it. Running 4 Weevil. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. 4 Doflamingo, 4 Perona, 2 of this guy, Soga King. This is a secret rare from back in OP03. 3 Pudding, 3 Crocodile, the 2K counter, 4 Jimbei, 4 of the 2K counter Trafalgar Law, 4 of the Doflamingo from OP07 that can cheat cards out. This was a cute idea, but I don't think I ever got it to work, to be honest, guys. 4 of the Mihawk, 4 of the 7-cost Dofi. This one was actually pretty good, guys. Bouncing cards back to hand just to play on tempo was actually not that bad. 4 of the Marshall D. Teach, 2 of the 0-cost Gum Gum Range, 2 Red Rocks, and 2 Gravity Blades. Now, I did make a quick revision, and we're going to look at that one first. We're going to look at that one now because I think it was just slightly better. Okay, ready? When I take a mental image, watch, it's barely going to change at all. I literally went down 1 Crocodile, down 1 Pudding, and down 2 Soga Kings for 4 of the Gecko Moria. Just vanilla Gecko Moria. Nothing else changed. I needed more targets for this card. I was trying to make it work, but again, like I said, it was kind of too gimmicky, to be honest, guys. Notice, like in the games that I showed winning, like it wasn't there. It was nowhere to be found. So there is something to be said that this card probably could be something else. One card that I think will be very good for this deck in OP09. I forgot to mention, guys, these were OP08 lists. Like, these are legal right now in OP08. This card, it's called Muggy Ball. I almost called it Gummy Ball. Muggy Ball. Special Muggy Ball. I think this card in a deck like this is perfect. Just push their stuff back. Even if they can draw from it, that's great. We want them to draw a bunch of cards, right? Yeah, draw a bunch of cards, man. Play out your searchers again. Draw a bunch of cards. It's going to be great, man. Keep drawing up. And then we're just going to slam down a Pudding whenever we can. And just keep bouncing cards back to hand. So I like the Doflamingo bouncing cards. I like the Marshall D. Teach bouncing cards. And then I want to punish them with Pudding. And then I'm going to aggressively counter out of everything they attack me with, like for my Weevils and all my other stuff. And then I'm going to start, slowly grinding them out of the game later in the game by drawing cards. I'm not saying this is the best list, but it was decent towards the end. Like I said, after I did a bunch of revisions and saw how the deck worked out, it started working out pretty well in the end. Okay, now let's look at the Impel Down version real quick. I was not exactly impressed with this one or happy about it, but it did work out a few games, the 2 games you saw. I think I played 4 games, won 2, lost 2. Which is not horrible, but it needs way more testing, and those were not meta decks, you know what I mean? Well, I guess technically the Black-Yellow Luffy one was, but Blue's matchup into Black-Yellow Luffy, no matter what blue deck you're running, as long as you're running this card, and I guess technically this card too, it helps as well, but if you're running this card, I think you're going to be doing just fine. Speaking of which, maybe I do tech out the Gum Gum Red Rocks for maybe the 3000 Worlds. Let me show you guys, because I like the Muggy Ball that I just got rid of. Let me bring up 3000 Worlds. This one, just to get the 5-cost cards out of the way, right? Like, oh, you got Sabo, bottom deck. Like, okay, they got a Sabo later in the game, Gravity Blade, stuff like that. But other than that, guys, the list was okay. It was all right. I was running this Boa Hancock that allows you to draw 1, trash 1, and then you can trash up to 3 cards. So that way we can turn on our leader effect. And there are a few other cards. Let me let them load in real quick. Whoops. I'm going to let Blue load in real quick. Check out the cool little loading animation. Very cool. There were 2 other promo cards that came out that are actually kind of geared for this leader. One of them is a Luffy, but I didn't really see a lot of use for it. And I'm not saying it's bad. It does allow you to trash. Maybe this takes the place over Boa Hancock, actually, because notice what it does. But the thing about Boa in this list, guys, is this one is Impel Down searchable. This is just Straw Hat. And by the way, this Boa is also 7 Warlords of the Sea searchable, whereas this card is just Straw Hat. and it's a promo, and I don't have it off the top of my head, but I think this is pretty expensive. At least at the time of me recording this. Maybe they'll reprint it in the future. But pause and read this, guys. You trash 2 cards, and now your opponent has to choose a card to return. So in other words, if they've got a full board, this card's pretty mid, right? However, if they have like one massive character on the board, like a 10-cost Kaido or something, or a 10-cost Lin, if you play this card down and trash 2 cards, that card has to go right back to their hand. Like, it is a very, very powerful effect, guys. Very, very powerful. The other card to look out for is it's Zoro. This one. And these are both promos, guys. But check out this one. It's a 4-cost 6K, which is very solid stat-wise. You know, like, this is a vanilla body. On play, pay 2, return a character with a cost of 5 or less to the owner's hand. So that's like at that perfect range to bounce back the 5-cost characters for Black Yellow Luffy and any deck that runs 5-cost characters. I do think those cards are good, the 2 Straw Hat ones we just looked at, the Zoro and the Luffy. But at the same time, I think the deck that had the most potential, it's probably obvious, was the one that I showed. Whoops, let me go to the edited one. Sorry, guys, just 1 second. This one right here. I think this one has the most potential. I could be wrong. And hey, guys, tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I would love to know what kind of tech y'all been messing with, if this is a leader that you enjoy and that you play often. I do think there's some potential there, though. I will say this. Because you're drawing a card every single turn on attack, it's nice in that way, right? It's too bad it's not if you have 4 or less cards. This leader would actually be playable, I feel like, if it was 4 or less cards, or 5, of course 5 or less, then it would be insane. And I know some people do like to draw the similarities between this and Boa. Okay, Boa requires you to have removal, though. If you don't have removal, then you're not drawing a card. And yes, there is plenty of good removal, you know, with like Gravity Blade, Red Rock, and all that stuff. Even some of the cards we're running, right? We're running Teaches, we're running the Doflamingos. But just being able to draw a card whenever you need to, like when you attack, just attaching 1 Dawn, I do think this is pretty solid, especially later in the game when we are just aggressively countering out of everything. All right, that's it, guys. I think I'm done rambling for today. Yeah, it ended up being about, not quite an hour long, so we got just under 1 hour. Again, please tell me what y'all think in the comment section below, guys. I really want to know y'all's thoughts on this leader. If y'all got a spicy list and you want to link it in the comment section, please help us out, guys. Absolutely. Or hop on the Discord. We're always brainstorming ideas. I don't care how bad the leader is perceived to be. If it's a leader you want to work, we're going to do whatever we can to try to make it work, at least at a local sense. And one thing I have to mention as well is, like, okay, I'm not saying we can make it win you any tournaments, okay? I'll never make that promise, because that comes down to your meta, that comes down to the pilot, to the card pool, to so many different factors. But I at least want to make whatever your favorite leader is in the game, like, one thing we try to do on the Discord is we at least try to make it work. Like, okay, it might not be great yet, but at least it's doing what it should be doing, and as it gets more and more support, maybe it'll get better and better and better. You know what I mean? Okay, so hopefully that made sense. All right, I'm done, guys. Let's go to the what's it called? Playmat. There we go. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel. Thank you guys so much. If you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing to help out the channel, I really, really appreciate it. Okay, big shout out to the VV Pirates Playmat supporters. Thank y'all so much for buying the mat and supporting the channel in that way. Hope you guys are enjoying your playmats. I think I only have like 20 left or so. We're almost done with them. No, it's probably a little more than that, because I think there's something like 50 on here, so it's probably around 40 left, because I did give some away to local players and stuff like that as like prize support and or just not prize support, but just like gifting them to people, just to pass the playmat around. Okay, and then last but not least, the patrons. Whoops, let me move my head down a little bit so we can see everybody's name in here. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel. Thank you guys so much for helping me in the ways you do, just by donating, just helping out, just trying to help out in whatever ways you can. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm done. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. Till next time. Peace.